We're broadcasting live from our Bogatil studios right here in Highlands Harare. My name is Zain Jamo and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, a lovely evening to you, Zain, and once again, a warm welcome to our viewers. My name is Joyce Mabika. Piswe Jean-Munika is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Dora Ngube will be joining us from our Montreux studios, but these are our headlines tonight.
Zimbabwe to earn 300 million United States dollars annually from Chile exports.
On a sad note, leader of the African Apostolic Church, Archbishop Paul Mwaja, dies.
In our leading business story tonight, African insurers are challenged to prioritize climate risks and financial inclusion.
In the world of sport, Zimbabwe stunned Sri Lanka by 67 runs in T20 Tri-Series.
Well, these are our leading stories. We'll now give you the news in detail.
A local agro-processing firm is setting up a chili processing plant in Banket, Mashonaland West Province, which upon completion targets to process 40 tons of chilies per day, with potential to earn for the country over 300 million United States dollars through exports. Let's take a look at the following report.
Responding to calls by the Second Republic for entrepreneurs and corporates to value-add their products for increased revenue, stakeholders in the agro-processing industry are taking the lead in that regard. An agro-processing firm, Stargree Brands, is setting up a chili processing plant in Banket, which will change the face of the export industry once complete in January next year. The company boasts of over 5,000 farmers contracted to produce the crop across the country, thus empowering communities.
The chili value chain is something that we should take seriously because it's opening up quite a number of avenues to the smallholder farmers. It's a project for everyone and everywhere in Zimbabwe because chili thrives in general temperatures of between 19 to 21 degrees Celsius, which makes Zimbabwe an optimum environment for chili growth. Currently, the project is already underway. We have contracted over 5,000 smallholder farmers, and we expect our processing plant and our pack shed to be completed in the next 2 months.
Green chilies have the potential to earn the country at least 300 million United States dollars once the crop's export protocol is finalized.
Currently, we have contracted about 1,000 hectares. We have done this in anticipation of the vast efforts being done by government for the upcoming chili export protocol. Our expectations are to capture the Chinese market, which we already have standing orders of over 200,000 tons of chili, which creates a big opportunity for the country.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa contends export-led growth is at the core of the Second Republic, rallying firms to prioritize national interest.
Under my leadership, government has placed industrialization, modernization, value addition, and export-led growth at the core of our national development agenda and towards our quest to achieve Vision 2030. We continue to recognize that the private sector, factories, farmers, innovators, and entrepreneurs must play their critical role with regards to expanded value chains, job creation, and overall industrialization and modernization of our motherland, Zimbabwe. As we scale up our industrialization, I challenge industry players to be informed by our national interests and the shared desire to improve the quality of life for all our people, no matter where they live. In our respective business and company strategies across all sectors, let us be conscious of the need to ensure that no one and no place is left behind.
The chili processing plant is set to create employment opportunities for hundreds of people while empowering more than 5,000 communal farmers, thus propelling the rural industrialization agenda. Bruce Jawanda, CBC News, Banget.
Relations between Zimbabwe and Mozambique took a significant turn after the elevation of ties to binational commission level in 2022, with the two countries increasing trade ties and cooperation in various economic sectors. We get more from our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe, who is in Maputo.
Zimbabwe and Mozambique are close partners. Historically, these two countries have traded for centuries. The sea in Mozambique, the Indian Ocean, is the nearest place where Zimbabwean goods pass through. You have your Beira, you have your Maputo, you have Nacala up north. These are the ports Zimbabwean goods pass through.
Zimbabwean point man in Maputo, Ambassador Victor Matemadanda, walks us through on this relationship as it is elevated to binational commission level.
We are excited that we've been able finally to put this relationship at that level. It's quite a milestone.
That's the binational.
Yes. So we are excited. We are waiting for tomorrow.
Envisaged a memorandum of understanding, how many?
Quite a number of them. We're still sprucing up some, and the past year we did not do the biannual. We did not do. So we are bringing all those forward and see which can be signed and which may not be signed.
How do you characterize our relations with Mozambique?
They are very good. They are very good. But I think on the two sides, we have not cascaded it to the young people. Young people, do not understand it fully well. And I think even beyond these agreements, it will be up to the two parties and governments to make sure that our young people understand the historical relations that are between us.
Almost 5 to 6 crossing points.
We are opening those. We have put a proposal that all of them should be formalized as commercial exit and entry points, so that we decongest the non-Forbes Nyamapanda border post. So it's on the agenda that most will be opened in the next 3 or 4 months.
So the working visit by President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa is bound to see an injection of the push to see this relationship robust trading between the two sister republics. The political relationship is excellent, and they want to build on that. And Ambassador Victor Matemadanda says he's fortunate to have been there when this relationship is elevated to binational level. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Maputo.
On a sad note, African Apostolic Church leader Archbishop Paul Mwasha has died. He was 107 years old.
A giant has fallen. And his departure is greatly felt in Zimbabwe and beyond the borders. Archbishop Paul Mwasha died early this Thursday morning at the divine age of 107 years, completing a life that carved a huge mark in the history of Christianity in Africa. He lived for 107 years. He was a giant in Christianity, a man regarded in great esteem. Archbishop Paul Mwasha was no ordinary man. He was a movement of faith and belief, as described by his family.
We confirm that Mtumwa, as we affectionately call him, Mtumwa Ernest Paul Mamvura Mwasha, has passed away. He rested this morning at around 4. And as a family, we are greatly grieved. Mwasha was not about the numbers. He was about the one person at a time. One person at a time. He took time to hear people's stories. He took time to pray. His telephone was always available. Any member could phone. Not only members, heads of state would come. He had friends in all places. He was a commissioner. He was a servant to all.
The late Mutunga Paul Mwaja was a humble man, and this has been described for his humility in staying at this hostel. This was a house he bought in 1978, and he lived a modest life at this residence. As we stand on these grounds, we can feel his presence even in his death. Since the start of his ministry, Archbishop Mwaja's calling was unique, and his light shone, guiding thousands of congregants across Africa.
Vakazopinda mumabusiness avo avaishanda nemunin'ina wavo wandati Elijah Nyikadzino Mwaja vakavhura chitoro chavo paChirasauta. Muchitoro vaita basa zvakare rekuparidza evhangeri yavaiteura varwere vane mweya yakaipa. Makore wayo kwaya nengozi dzainetsa vanhu vaizoteurirwa, vamwe vanga vakatetereka vaizoteurirwa, vana vachidzoka kwavanga vatetereka ikoko. Vakadzi vanga vasiwa dzimba dzavo vaikumbirirwa, dzimba dzichivakika. Ndo pane shoko kuti mudzidzisi mene yaita muteerera, kamwana kafa oya wotikumbirirwa namudzidzisi. Totoo nevana vakakumbirwa muchikumbiro chomuteerera, vatoo nevazukuru vavo.
Grief is palpable as many congregants offer their condolences to the late Archbishop, affectionately known as Mutunga Paul Mwaja. No date has been given for the funeral, but the family said it could take more days to allow for a longer mourning period. The late Mutunga Paul Mwaja's influence within the Christian community, not but even the Christian community across many nations. Asia. This was a man who was regarded not only as a man of faith, but a legend in the Christian community. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
And may his soul rest in peace. Member countries to the Kimberley Process certification scheme have underscored the need for objectivity while undertaking the process of expanding the definition of conflict diamonds to maintain a credible global diamond value chain.
When the KP was established in 2003, it was at the height of civil wars in 3 African countries, that is Angola, Liberia and Sierra Leone, whereby rebel groups in those countries were using diamond proceeds to finance and sustain wars in those countries. The argument now is that over the past 2 decades, the definition of conflict has changed, hence the need to expand the scope of what conflict diamonds are.
The existing definition refers narrowly to rough diamonds used by rebel movements. This new draft broadens this to rough diamonds controlled, produced, traded, or handled by, acknowledging that various players interact with diamonds in diverse ways that may undermine peace, security, and legitimate trade.
Ministers from member countries made submissions to the committee.
The framework of Resolution 55/56 proposed that measures to counter conflict diamonds should be 1. Effective and pragmatic, 2. Consistent with international law, 3. And the measures should not impede the current legitimate trade in diamonds or impose any undue burden on governments or industry, particularly smaller producers, and not hinder the development of the diamond industry.
Meanwhile, the Central African Republic, which was embroiled in several civil wars over the past 2 decades, also commended the Kimberley Process for contributing positively to the country's economic growth and development, whereby it has been allowed to fully participate on the global diamond market. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Dubai.
Back home, in a boost to the Second Republic's infrastructure development drive, the government is in the process of setting up asphalt plants across the country to boost local road maintenance as well as construction.
At Skyline Unit Maintenance Camp, government is in the process of setting up a new asphalt plant This new asphalt plant is designed to produce premix for almost everything from pothole patching to major road maintenances here in Harare. This is a key part of the national recapitalization of the Department of Roads under the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development. The setup of the new asphalt plant is a game changer in terms of reducing delays as well as costs. We managed to speak to one of the engineers responsible for this setup, and he took us through the importance of the setting up of the new asphalt plant.
Previously, the ministry has had to procure materials from contractors outside, which has resulted in cost being very high for the ministry for the maintenance of these roads. So the coming in of this new asphalt plant, it will actually help the ministry and the government as a whole to reduce costs that are associated with the maintenance of roads. For this type of plant, we'll be able to produce hot premix. Hot premix is more durable as compared to cold premix. So the ministry will be able to cover a greater ground in terms of roads maintenance as compared to the period when we were procuring from contractors.
Here we are setting up an asphalt plant, which is 120 tons per hour, which produces approximately about 1,200 tons per day. This machine, with the latest technology, this one have got advantages of air pollution, less noise and less vibration, and also in terms of quality, to produce the best quality.
Government's vision is to set up such asphalt plants in each province in the country, decentralizing production as well as speeding up infrastructural development projects under Vision 2030.
The government as a whole currently has embarked on capacitation of maintenance units countrywide. So the government has more than 108 maintenance units, and of those we intend to have one asphalt plant operating in each and every province of the 10 provinces of the country.
This premix was sourced elsewhere, but now with the establishment of this new asphalt plant at Skyline, this product will now be produced here. This symbolizes a huge step towards self-sufficiency in terms of government's road rehabilitation efforts. Nyasha Magota, ZBC News, Harare.
Mashonaland West Province is on course to meet its grain storage facilities demands, with construction of the modernized Mangura Grain Marketing Depot set to be completed early next year.
The completion of the artificial intelligence AI-powered smart storage facilities follows years of post-harvest losses, often caused by poor moisture management and transport bottlenecks, as local farmers were forced to rely on the distant Lionsden depot. Farmers are looking forward to the development with optimism.
Achitenga chibage chedu bozi kujembiwa inzi moisture content yako haisi kukwanisa kuti udeliver chibage chako mujembi. Saka apa nechitiko chauya ka tiri kufara zvikuru.
Tinofara nazvo nekuti depo ikauya padhuze nesu isu arume tinofara nazvo.
Once complete, the facility will compromise a 56,000 metric ton storage capacity equipped with AI systems to manage sorting, drying and moisture control, offering farmers a one-stop post-harvest service.
Unlike the old storage facilities that do not have efficient cleaning mechanisms, these cleaning mechanisms are meant to eliminate dust, fine dust. This fine dust is the one that in most cases leads to explosions that occur in grain handling and storage facilities.
Mashonaland West Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Maren Chombo, said focus is now on enhancing value addition in the agro-processing value chain in the province.
Takuda kuti ma industry ayo iwayo awi avake muno milling iyoyo ese iwayo feeding vese vaye muno. So that means this area rural industrialization yato achieved through this Vision 2030 Baba Mnangagwa zvatoitika.
With technology at the center of agricultural transformation, the country is poised for increased productivity in line with the Zero Hunger National Food Security targets. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Mangura.
The ZANU-PF inter-district meeting held in Epworth this Thursday spotlighted ongoing development programs under the Second Republic, with senior party officials detailing progress in infrastructure upgrades, improved service delivery and enhanced welfare support for war veterans.
From improved roadworks, expansion of housing regularization projects, and increased access to social amenities, the Second Republic's Development Trust is being cited as steadily transforming livelihoods in the densely populated settlement of Epworth, the venue for this week's inter-district meeting. The engagement, part of a series across Harare province, is aimed at keeping communities informed on resolutions adopted at the ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference and how they translate into local development.
Mnangagwa pavakatora marenje ekutonga nyika ino upfumi hwayo hwanga hwaparara ndokuchovha zvakadaro ndokusvitsa upfumi hwenyika ino huchataurwa nenyanzvi pahwakabvira kusvika patave
kuno kuEpworth kune ma-small businesses 65% yeeconomy yedu ma-small businesses ma-informal. Saka takawirirana ikoko kuti kunofanira kutsvagwa mari inomeka sure kuti ma-small businesses aya achabudirira. Takawirirana isu kuti tinofanira kuita ma-reserve sectors mueconomy yedu. Hatidi kunzwa kuti pane muforeigner anoita tax shop. Tuda kuti ma-tax shop anga ari ema-Zimbabweans. Ma-service stations anofanira kunge ari ema-Zimbabweans.
Zviri kugadzirwa nababa Mnangagwa zvatiri kuti 2030 ndezvemagariro edu isu kuti tibudirire tiri pamwe chete pasina anosara munyika muno.
Residents who attended the meeting expressed confidence in the unfolding development agenda, noting that welfare considerations, particularly for people with disabilities, are being prioritized.
Nini ndanzwa kufara ndabatsirwa mwana wangu akwanisa kuwana wheelchair. Kufara kwazvo nemabasa makuru ari kuitwa na His Excellency kugadzira migwagwa, zvipatara, tiri kuzviona.
Maona pano patatiri paburitswa 75,000 ichienda kumayouth emunzvimbo diki diki iyo ino, 75,000 ichienda kumadzimai, 75,000 ichienda kumawar veterans, 75,000 ichienda kunana baba. Zvisati zvamboitika.
The meeting also reinforced the ZANU-PF's commitment to unity and structured engagement with the communities amid a pledge for more clinic constructions, continued issuance of title deeds and scaled up service delivery interventions. Epworth, one of Zimbabwe's fastest growing settlements, continues to benefit from national and local programs such as road rehabilitation, water infrastructure expansion, housing regularization, and empowerment projects, key pillars of the Second Republic's inclusive development agenda. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The energy sector is the latest port of call for the government after approving the review of licenses, permits, levies and fees for the industry in line with the ease of doing business reforms. Let's get more from Josephine Mugio.
This Tuesday's cabinet meeting deliberated on several national issues, including the downward review of levies for players in the energy sector, as revealed by the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jen van Muswere.
The review of licenses, permits, levies and fees in the energy sector followed extensive whole-of-government and societal approach. Consultations which were attended by ministries, departments and agencies and the energy sector players. The energy subsectors, licenses, permits, levies and fees have been reviewed as follows. Electricity generation, transmission, distribution and secondary distribution in terms of the licensing framework, petroleum importation, wholesale and retail licensing framework, the liquefied petroleum gas importation, wholesale and retail licensing framework. Among the reviewed licenses, license fees and permits, ZERA license application fee has been reduced from United States dollars 2,500 to United States dollars $2,000, whilst the Zera solar generation license of 2,875 United States dollars has been removed completely. The Zera petroleum import license of United States dollars 30,000 has been reduced by 50%. The fuel retailing license in rural areas has been reduced from United States dollars 200 to United States dollars 150, whilst the LPG retail license will be reduced by 50% from the United States dollars $230. That is the current fee structure. Furthermore, it is noted that the investment in the energy sector has been largely being driven by government, and this model had become unsustainable given the limited fiscal space and access to external resources, which had been one of the shortcomings. The reviewed licenses, permits, levies, and fees will be subjected to further refinements and appropriate schedule, which shall be duly gazetted after ministries have effected the necessary legislative and administrative changes.
Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Harare.
While you're watching the main news, do remember to visit our website for these and more stories in greater detail. Our website is www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you could get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
And here are stories still to come in this bulletin. African insurers challenged to prioritize climate risks and financial inclusion.
In sport, Zimbabwe stunned Sri Lanka by 67 runs in T20 Tri-Series.
Join us for these and more stories in detail after this break.
Bambo yemwana muri kutunzira zvinhu zvakaita zvitsaru zvakadare izvi mashayewo here zvimwe zvinhu zvingobva kumwe kunyika dzakasiyana siyana.
Ndipo patiri kutaura kuti kurasa chiri mumaoko ngekuda kuombera. Uyu muti mugoti idzi basengere aya handiti kuona kuti ichi ivhu iri remunyika munomu. Munyika masi muno mukacherechedza kuti hapana chatisina miti, zvicherwa, mhuka zvese tinazvo. Tikatarisa kuEastern Highlands uku tine masamba, tikaenda kuHwange tine marasha, ndobva taenda kuGreat Zimbabwe, Kariba, magetsi angogadziwa ipapo. Toenda pachiyadzwa apa tine madiamonds. Saka muri kuona kuti hurumende ichirayira bazi redzidzo remuno muZimbabwe rakaparura dzidzo yakatsamira pazviwanikwa zvaso kuitira kuti tisiyane nekatsika kekuti ifefe munyika muno tingotenga pfungwa dzewena wanhu wari kunza kwenyika. Tuda zvinhu made in Zimbabwe. Tuda kuti patinosvika muna 2030 tinge tatine pundutso yepakati nepakati. Saka heritage based curriculum idzidzo yekurodza pfungwa, miono, manzwiro zvese nemaoko kuti tikwanise kuseenzesa zviwanikwa izvo tinazvo kuti tiite pundutso yekuti nyika yedu isumukire. Saka masoko andiri kukutaurira aya ari kubva kuMinistry of Primary and Secondary Education Zimbabwe.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
Driving against oncoming traffic can kill. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe has noted with great concern and taken into account the increase in number of vehicles on the roads of Zimbabwe, leading to motorists taking the law into their own hands and driving against oncoming traffic. Motorists are advised to desist from putting the lives of pedestrians, passengers, and themselves in danger by driving against oncoming traffic, as this can cause accidents and the loss of life. Such actions will result in the motorists facing the full wrath of the law. We advise motorists to exercise caution and patience as we create third lanes for public transportation and buses to decongest traffic on the roads of Zimbabwe. Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, keeping you safe on the roads of Zimbabwe.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Zimbabwe has reiterated its commitment to fully implementing the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, stressing efforts to curb tobacco-related harm must be balanced with the socio-economic realities of developing economies.
The 11th session of the Conference of the Parties, COP11, to the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control is underway in Geneva, Switzerland, where global parties are reviewing progress and strengthening policies aimed at reducing tobacco use, one of the leading causes of preventable non-communicable diseases. COP11 comes at a decisive moment for global health, providing a platform to reinforce accountability and accelerate implementation of the treaty's provisions. Delivering Zimbabwe's statement, Head of Delegation and Deputy Chief Secretary for Policy Analysis, Coordination and Development Planning in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Dr. Willard Manungo said the country continues to align itself with global aspirations for a tobacco-free future while protecting the livelihoods of thousands and smallholder farmers who depend on the crop.
While we fully appreciate our obligations under the Convention, the development of economically viable alternatives for farmers poses challenges that require time. Zimbabwe continues to promote complementary and alternative crops to gradually reduce dependence on tobacco in a manner that safeguards livelihoods.
Dr. Manungo highlighted Zimbabwe's progress in public health protections.
Zimbabwe enforces prohibition on smoking in public places, particularly in areas frequented by children and young people, to reduce exposure to second-hand smoke. We have also implemented designated smoking zones to limit public smoking and reduce associated health risks.
In line with the COP11 theme, Healthy Planet, Healthy Future, Uniting for a Tobacco-Free Generation, Zimbabwe is also scaling up efforts to address the environmental impact of tobacco production. Dr. Manungo outlined the country's expanding reforestation program funded through the tobacco levy, which has already restored 26,244 hectares of forest. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News.
It is now time to cross over to our Montreux studios in Bulawayo. We are joining Dora Ncube to give us more news. A very good evening to you, Dora.
Good evening, Joyce and Zane and the rest of the team at Pocket Soul. Many thanks for taking us on, and a good evening to you, our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. 9 candidates vying for the Nkulumane National Assembly seat have successfully filed their nomination papers at the Tredgold Magistrate Court in Bulawayo this Thursday.
At 4 p.m. on the dot, the nomination court closed its doors with a total number of 9 candidates vying for the Nkulumane constituency seat having successfully submitted their papers. The Nkulumane constituency seat fell vacant following the death of the area's legislator Desire Moyo, who died in a car accident last month. Nomination Court Officer Mr. Richard Sibanda confirmed that 9 candidates have been duly nominated to contest in the upcoming by-election.
The following 9 National Assembly constituency candidates have been duly nominated. Uzwayo Mbuso, male and independent. Jele Rodney Donovan, male and independent. Moyo Alson, male, EFF Party. Murechu Freedom Phineas May, ZANU PF Party. Ngube Malaba Nompilo Female, ZANC Party. Ndlovu Mthusi May, Tifusi Political Party. Sibanda Ethel Female, MDCT Party. Siziba Vivian Vio May, ZAPU Party. And Zita Esther Exilia Female and Independent candidate.
Among the 9 candidates who have been duly nominated to contest in the December by-elections is Freedom Murechu, a ZANU-PF candidate who outlined his vision while stating how flawless the process was.
We are going to work together to make sure that we implement the programs by the government, and we make sure that the vision of our president that was promulgated by the President Vision 2030 is fulfilled.
With the late Nkulumane legislator having been an artist, the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change CCC Party has fielded popular comedian and socialite Madlela Skhobokobo, real name Thusi Ndlovu, to contest for the seat.
Into le ibibanjwe ngumfowethu obe artist isikhule sonke akasekho emhlabeni. So we can't just let Leah sit here komunye umuntu ongasiyi artist.
Independent candidates contesting for the seat also outlined their plans for Nkulumane constituency.
I know what the people of Nkulumane want and expect because I've been there and I've delivered.
The by-election for the Nkulumane constituency is set to be held on the 20th of December. Lisa Korira, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Government has established a new 19-hectare irrigation scheme in Beitbridge district to ensure food security at household level.
With the irrigation scheme drawing water from Umzingwane River through solar-powered pumps, farmers are confident of a good harvest.
ndikono urengisa ndikono ula ndikono phumelela nyana
mbavale ndi ulwana ndala so robona uri queen rive na zilima zikushelezelwa ndona ridola.
The transformative project is set to boost the economic fortunes of the community.
Ubuso wo ritela zwavhuḓi nga maanḓa government yavo rine yo ritela zwithu zwihulwane nga maanḓa so ri hapa none ri khou lima ri khou ita zwoṱhe ro no fhedza nga land preparation land tilling ro no ifhedza zwa zwezwino ri kha digging ri khou zwala.
Zingwane irrigation scheme caters for 36 households. It's a drip irrigation which is using water from Zingwane Dam through boreholes which are solarized. The expected yield in the 18.5 hectares of the scheme is 4.5 tons per hectare, which will be sufficient for household food consumption.
Irrigation schemes have been identified as key in ensuring food security, beginning at household level as government continues to establish new irrigation schemes and resuscitating old ones. Aifeli Mudau, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
Partnerships between government and developmental partners are placing the country on course to achieve food security. This came out during the belated World Food Day commemorations held in Matobo district this Thursday.
The belated World Food Day celebrations held at Matopo Research Institution were an opportunity to reflect on how best the country can mitigate against climate change and ensure food security. The capacitation of smallholder farmers and the passionate plea for farmers to plant traditional grains were the major talking points at this year's celebrations.
The World Food Day commemoration is definitely a touch point for us research institutions like ICRISAT and for the world, a reminder that hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition are among the most pressing issues of our time.
As the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, we are pleased to be taking part in this event where we reflect and celebrate partnerships that promote food security for our communities.
Matabeleland South Province is leading the way in raw industrialization.
We are firmly committed to working hand in hand with every stakeholder, that is from the smallholder farmer in our villages to our development partners and the private sector for a transformed agricultural landscape capable of securing a prosperous, food secure future for all.
For government, ensuring food security is a collective responsibility.
Ensuring food security is a shared responsibility. It is not a job for one ministry or one organization. It is a shared responsibility across government, civil society, the private sector, farmers and communities. The recent challenges from climate extremes to global supply chain disruptions show that our food systems must be resilient, sustainable and inclusive.
We want to, of course, cast our reflection and cast our view to the future. So we see the abundance and the powerful vision that can be brought through innovation. We are celebrating this day under the theme Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future. This theme that we have is not just a slogan. It is the very essence of the philosophy by His Excellency the President. Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi vayo.
The belated World Food Day celebrations are normally held on the 16th of October, and this year's celebrations are running under the theme Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Matobo.
Fear has gripped Plumtree after the convicted serial rapist and murderer Cabangani Mike Mate escaped from Plumtree prison. The suspect is said to have used a hacksaw to cut the window, leaving other inmates stunned.
From Poengs to Maitengwe, the people of Bukalanga are walking on eggshells after one of the notorious serial rapist and murderer Cabangani Mate daringly escaped from Plumtree prison at the weekend. In a village that we cannot name to protect the victim, we found a situation that broke our hearts. Gogo Moyo, not a real name, he has a granddaughter who was raped by Mate and killed by the man who was now lurking in the dark after escaping from prison.
Ngiyasaba sivili noma ngihamba ngiyasaba ngoba into ayenzakalayo umntwana zange ngibone ekhanda anzake ikhanda lalidluvise lona ikhanda zange ngilibone ngabona umsimba ngase ngathi bahlubula isicathulo ukuze ngibone inyawo zakhe andikumbula sibi kwinwakaBuddha eBuddha ukuthi waBuddha chini ububule ngapha abantu banorepa abantu bepanitshiwa singapha iye waBuddha chini kati.
The mere mention of Mate's name in the community sends chills down the spine of many, and not even the traditional leaders dare talk about him.
Sokuti gwadza ngobe anchanda busiku anchalala zvanana ndumuko mongwandi kumuti kamba ndipo ndamwa zvokunjengu yangu ndotemiwa nekhano ngoti yethusa ati wakui nwakabulaya ekwe waBuddha mujele lubaka kusari ngwakwana.
Why akaBuddha iye aliyeka vanhu vanjinji vakasungwa pape vane vakatola advantage kuti titihebo this kolakidza kuti wakadhusiwa kuti tiha.
The Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service ZPCS confirmed the escape of Mate, calling on the community members to assist with information that may assist in the recapture of the fugitive.
As Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, we wish to inform the public that indeed an inmate unlawfully escaped from Plumtree prison. We also want to assure the nation that investigations into this incident are currently underway, and we are really working diligently to apprehend the escaped inmate and prevent any further occurrences.
Cabangani's criminal record stretches as far back as 2013. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Plumtree.
Yeah, I understand the panic and the many questions at the Plumtree community. And that's it from us here at Montrose. We now take you back to the team at Pocket Cell for more news. Joyce, it's now back to you.
Well, thank you, Dora, for giving us that stretch of the bulletin. And of course, many thanks to our crew at Montrose Studios. We continue from Pockets Hill in Harare. A Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has arrived in Johannesburg, South Africa, leading a Zimbabwean delegation for the Group of 20 G20 Leaders Summit. The Vice President, who is representing President Emmerson Mnangagwa, is expected to use the platform to showcase Zimbabwe's business opportunities and the country's growth roadmap.
Zimbabwe is taking part at this year's G20 Leaders Summit with the Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga arriving this Thursday to lead the country's delegation at the platform which creates that environment for further strengthening cooperation as well as focusing on ideas towards consolidating current macroeconomic gains.
The host, which is the Republic of South Africa. His Excellency the President was invited by his brother, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, since South Africa is the host. So we are coming here as an invitee. We are not members of the G20, but is invited. But we are taking advantage of our invitation to speak to this group, which controls 85% of the world GDP.
Expectations are higher that Zimbabwe will benefit from participating at the G20 Leaders Summit as global economies will focus on various issues relating to socio-economic development during the course of the summit, which starts on the 22nd till the 23rd of this month. In line with the Open for Business mantra, the government is also expected to use the G20 Leaders Summit as a platform to court international investors as well as global capital inflows. Stanley James, ZBC News, Johannesburg.
Zimbabwe and China have reaffirmed their strategic partnership during high-level talks in Harare this Thursday, with both nations expressing commitment to aligning China's 15th five-year plan with Zimbabwe's National Development Strategy 2 to accelerate mutual growth and development.
The Chinese envoy to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Zhou Ding, expressed strong support for the upcoming National Development Strategy 2, highlighting the importance of aligning Zimbabwe's development priorities with China's economic plans.
I am thrilled to learn that next week, His Excellency President Edi Mnangagwa will officially launch NDS2, which aims to accelerate Zimbabwe's journey towards Vision 2030. I am confident that China's 15th five-year plan and NDS2 will unlock fresh opportunities for win-win cooperation between our two countries. As NDS2 identifies 10 national priorities, including accelerating economic growth, enhancing resilience in food security, advancing digital transformation, and human capital development, I see great potentials in our cooperation.
ZANU-PF Politburo member Advocate Fortune Chasi highlighted the importance of the bilateral relations in achieving Zimbabwe's developmental objectives under the Second Republic.
China is a long-standing friend of Zimbabwe since during the liberation struggle, and they've continued to work with us closely since independence. They are working on their 15th five-year development plan. We are doing the same, working on our own plan, so there is a coincidence of those plans. And we believe that we have a lot to benefit from China as a country.
The engagement demonstrates Zimbabwe's growing cooperation with China under the Second Republic. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe Defense Forces has reaffirmed its commitment to sharpening the skills of its personnel through continuous training.
From constructing bridges and building schools and clinics to assisting during disasters, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Engineering Department plays a vital role in national development, supporting both military and civilian needs. The graduation ceremony of combined 3 engineers courses at Zimbabwe School of Military Engineering this Thursday affirms the ZDF's commitment to the national development trajectory.
Let me hasten to remind you that you will be required to show a high level of practical proficiency in the execution of practical combat engineering tasks. If you find yourselves in any challenging situations, use your initiative and improvise as taught. Always ask for assistance or advice when faced with challenges. I also urge you to learn from your seasoned counterparts who qualified before you and work tirelessly to uphold the image of the Corps of Engineers. You should continue perfecting your performance in the field as well as maintaining standards that have been set by your predecessors. When you go back to your respective units, you should display a high standard of aptitude, loyalty, and dedication to duty.
The graduates drawn from various Zimbabwe National Army units pledged to continue contributing to national development.
Combat engineer, we provide 4 tasks to the Zimbabwe National Army, which is mobility, counter-mobility, protection, and miscellaneous.
With their newly acquired skills, the graduates are expected to play a pivotal role in enhancing the country's infrastructure and responding to emergencies, reinforcing the ZDF's dual role in defending the nation and supporting development. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news takes a breather. We're back shortly with the latest in business news.
Dear Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game. Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Vanoda valisizi itai aye varimi vese itai aye vanoda go itai aye simuza go rako kurumiza ndogona kungoti oyo vavalisizi pada moyo vanyai vana amanyina na baba kurumiza mbeu kwayo ri kuvhalisitsi airowe nezvifukuto kana tsikitsi kana zvirwere ende inokupa harvest apa ndiri kurevesa very honest nevhalisitsi itai aye varimi vese itai aye vanoda go.
Mwaka uno tenga mbeu yako ku Valley Seeds usimudze goho rako. Valley Seeds vauchiki vembeu yechibage yepana nePioneer, Goros, ma-traditional grains nema-vegetable seeds ose anopa goho repamusoro-soro. Valley Seeds, where farming meets the farmer.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The inaugural Southern Africa Insurance Indaba opened in Victoria Falls this Wednesday, with delegates being challenged to incorporate climate resilience into underwriting and to promote financial inclusion across the continent. We get more from the following report.
An upper middle income society is anchored on a strong financial triad of insurance, banking and commercial systems that safeguard wealth, mobilize resources and drive sustainable economic growth. With Zimbabwe targeting upper middle income society by 2030, the insurance sector has once again been reminded of its pivotal role.
Climate change is not a future threat, it is a present reality. Every underwriting decision, every investment choice, and every product design must integrate climate considerations. We must ensure inclusive economic development. Insurance must serve not only the wealthy and connected, but also the farm and rural areas, the vendors and the young entrepreneurs in urban areas. Financial inclusion is not charity, it is smart business and national imperative.
The Insurance Institute of Zimbabwe says it remains committed to driving economic development by ensuring the sector responds to the needs of diverse communities across Africa.
We are focused on developing tailored solutions that resonate with the diverse stakeholders across our continent, from the smallholder farmer in Mutoko to the entrepreneur in Nairobi and the trader in Kampala, as well as climate-vulnerable populations throughout Africa.
Previously known as the Insurance Institute of Zimbabwe Annual Conference, the Southern Africa Insurance Indawa has evolved into a pan-African platform for engagement, policy dialogue, and professional excellence. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
And now shifting our attention to the arts, the stage is set for the 74th Miss Universe pageant, which takes place this Friday at the Impact Challenger Hall in Bangkok, Thailand.
The final show comes after Wednesday's colorful national costume event and the high-pressure preliminary competition. Zimbabwe's representative Lashanda Moyes has delivered strong performances throughout the week, from the fashion showcases to the swimsuit round and a pre-judging session. Lashanda, who is competing with more than 120 participants from across the globe, is consistently impressed and is now viewed as one of the promising contestants in this year's lineup. Zimbabwe also marked a major milestone at this edition of the Miss Universe, with Keno Miniotawo Chiwenga taking a seat on the official judging panel. She becomes the first Zimbabwean to help select the next Miss Universe, a moment that has brought national pride and excitement. As the world turns its eyes on Bangkok this Friday, Zimbabwe stands tall as Lashanda carries the hopes of the nation on a global stage, a defining chapter in Zimbabwe's pageant history. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Bangkok.
Well, indeed, Zimbabwe's got talent. Now the main news takes a breather. We'll be back shortly with the latest in sport updates.
Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Sharing a ride to another city used to be my way. With InDrive City to City, it's my way. I choose my pickup and drop off, my price, my driver, and pay for just one seat. Share rides your way.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We jump straight into sport, where Zimbabwe have breathed life into their Tri-Series campaign after stunning Sri Lanka by 67 runs this Thursday in Rawalpindi, Pakistan.
The emphatic victory temporarily sends Zimbabwe to the top of the standings, although a net run rate will remain crucial in determining the final leaderboard. Zimbabwe are using the Tri-Series as part of their preparations for the ICC.
Harare Giants Dynamos are on the brink and their do-or-die tie against FC Platinum in the final day of the 2025 Kasolaga Premier Soccer League on Sunday will confirm their status. With 9 teams fighting for survival, Dynamos need to avoid defeat to remain in the top flight. Coach Kelvin Kaindu is aware of the task and is working hard to complete Dimbare's rescue mission.
We want to maintain, hopefully we maintain our record and finish without a defeat. But like I said, we are playing Platinum that is quite organized. They play good football. But playing at home and also with the conditions that are there, we don't know how it's going to be on Sunday, but we just hope for the best on Sunday.
Still in the world of sport, Zimbabwe women's national football team, the Mighty Warriors, are set to return to action with a busy schedule of 3 nations tournaments set for Lilongwe in Malawi later this month. The Mighty Warriors marked their 3rd successive day in training this Thursday as they look to use the FIFA international break to prepare for the COSAFA tournament going down next year.
The Mighty Warriors are set to resume action with their friendly tournament assignment marking a significant return to the international stage after their last outing in February, where they suffered a defeat to Angola in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Coach Sitetelelwe Sibanda is utilizing the FIFA window, which provides an opportunity for the team to gain much-needed international exposure. The 30-member team has been assembled with a mix of local and young players to prepare for the upcoming COSAFA tournament.
Our players really have been playing their local, the local league here, and maybe because usually they play in the COSAFA tournament every year for them to get at least that international exposure. But the fact that COSAFA was postponed to early next year, so it's actually good that we involve the locally based players for this match.
Among the fresh talent is Chapungu Queens goalkeeper Delight Matigwene. The Mighty Warriors will face host Malawi on the 28th of this month in the opener before taking on Zambia on the final day on the 2nd of December.
A field of enthusiastic amateur golfers painted Chapman Golf Club blue as more than 100 players turned up to celebrate a remarkable milestone, Crenshaw at 60.
The fairways were alive with color, camaraderie, and easy laughter of amateur golfers who came not just for the sport, but to honor 6 decades of an insurer that has become a quite a constant in Zimbabwean life. The environment carried the relaxed charm only a golf course can offer, early sun and the rhythmic thud of T-shirts echoing through the trees. It was a setting that matched the company's celebratory spirit, calm, classic, and full of stories.
In most cases, we feel that golf brings together our stakeholders in one place, and we get to celebrate on the greens, competing in a friendly environment. And afterwards, we get to celebrate and mix and mingle with our clients. So we felt this was the most appropriate way to mark this significant milestone. We're celebrating 60 years of existence and providing service to Zimbabwe. We're an insurance company, and we're proud to have walked this journey for such a long time. So this is a critical and key milestone for us, which we thought it was worth celebrating by way of a golf day.
As the sun slipped away, the celebrations shifted from the course to an elegant evening dinner. Soft lights, warm conversations, and a grateful atmosphere wrapped up the day's activities, giving Crenshaw a chance to honor the people who have shaped its journey.
We have strengthened our capacity and expanded our vision for the future. Alongside Bank ABC and ZD Bank, we remain resolute in our mission to be the market leader in Zimbabwe. This solid foundation has allowed us to maintain our market position of focusing on operational excellence. As we embark on our next chapter, we remain committed to our core values of excellence, professionalism, and customer centricity.
As expected, the day wrapped up with winners of various categories being honored. Lawrence Tuzila, ZBC News, Harare.
Is it going to be rainy? Maybe sunny? Well, up next is the weather report and forecast.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and thank you for joining us in this edition of the Weather Report and Focus. My name is Baba Maketa. Well, we'll give you the update of what has been happening in terms of rains throughout the country, where we had a wet spot that has been affecting the country since the past week. Now, as of today, we had some precipitation recorded in some areas, and Karoi recorded 34 millimeters, Mvuru 29, Henderson 22, and Mukandi recorded 19 millimeters over the past 24 hours. Now, we are still expecting this system that has been affecting the country to remain active over the northern parts of the country as of tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. But for the rest of the country, we're expecting clearing of the skies, and this should affect Bulawayo, Masvingo, southern parts of Manicaland, as well as southern parts of Midlands province, where we are not expecting much in terms of rainfall up to until Tuesday next week. Now, in terms of our temperatures, we're expecting them to be a little bit lower over the central parts of the country, and the range should be between 13 degrees Celsius and 19 degrees, where 19 is expected over the northern valley of the country, that is the Zambezi Valley, and 18 over the Save Valley there. The maximums are expected again to be subdued due to the cloudy conditions that have been affecting the country, and therefore the temperatures will range between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius, and 34 will be in areas along the Save Valley, that is Chirezi, and areas around the end. 32 and 33 are expected over the Zambezi Valley. Now, to give you the weather in detail for the coming week, starting with Bulawayo, we're expecting cloudy conditions, but nothing much in terms of precipitation over the coming week, and temperatures will range between 31 and 36 degrees Celsius. Matobo, nothing much again in terms of precipitation over the coming week, but it should be cloudy with a little bit of chance of precipitation. Gwanda again, not much in terms of precipitation. Gweru, not much in terms of precipitation, but should be cloudy. Masvingo, on the other way, should expect some precipitation from Tuesday. Mutare should be raining again from Tuesday up to Thursday. In Nyanga, we're expecting cloudy conditions and raining from Tuesday up to Thursday. Marondera, partly cloudy conditions and raining from Tuesday again up to Thursday. In Harare, we're expecting mostly cloudy conditions, but next week on Monday and Tuesday, we're expecting some bits of precipitation. In Makadoma, again, the same situation is expected. Chinoi, partly cloudy conditions, and should be raining from Wednesday next week. In Victoria Falls, we're expecting it to be cloudy, and nothing much is expected in terms of precipitation. In Chinoi, Lupane should be cloudy. Bindura, cloudy again with some precipitation next week. Kariba should be partly cloudy and precipitating from Tuesday next week. Now, Zimbabwe, that is all we had for you. And remember to stay indoors when you hear thunderstorms roaring. Stay safe, and that is it for now.
Well, that caps tonight's bulletin from the crew behind the scenes and all of us here. Good night.
Good night.